Japanese numbers can be surprisingly frustrating. Even if you look up 1 in the NHK Japanese Pronunciation Accent Dictionary and find that it listed as ichi, you've probably also heard ichi somewhere. You learned that 2 is simply ni. So why do you keep hearing ni? And when you say ni, your teacher tells you it's wrong. Is it sanbun or sanpun, yonbun or yonpun? After a nasal sound, should it be voiced or unvoiced? You already know 0 through 9 by heart. So why do Japanese people sometimes look confused when you read out a phone number? And when you see a number like this, does your brain just freeze? Hi, I'm Noriyuki. In this series, I'd like to take the opposite approach. Instead of giving you more things to memorize, let's see how much we can remove. The goal is simple: to build a system that lets you handle Japanese numbers with less effort, not more. In this first video, we'll start with the foundation of Japanese numbers, 0 to 99. First, let's do a little shadowing together. 26 48 34 24 You may have noticed that we didn't start from 0. We didn't go in order. These numbers are chosen at random. But if you look closely, the tens digit and the ones digit are actually comes from 2 separate groups on the screen. And that's the key if you want to understand and pronounce Japanese numbers comfortably. 0 to 99 is the foundation of everything. But as you've probably already noticed, we don't actually need to memorize 100 separate pronunciations. The number of forms that really need focused practice is much smaller, only 28. And you've already seen them. 20 and 6, 40 and 8, 30 and 4, 20 and 4. Every number from 21 to 99 is simply a combination of multiple of 10 and a single digit. For example, 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89. The 80 stays the same. 24 34 44 54 64 74 84 94. The 4 never changes. That's the pattern. Once you know these 8 tens and these 9 single digits, and one simple pitch accent rule. Whenever 50, 60, or 80 is followed by another digit, the accent becomes flat. You can already read 89 numbers. That leaves only a small group that needs to be learned separately. At this point, you may be wondering, what about xi for 4? What about yo, xiji, ku, le, or maru? Why haven't we talked about those? Imagine a conversation like this. I bought some really fresh tomato today. Or maybe I should say tomato. People don't usually talk like that. You naturally settle into a version you use most often. We'll do the same thing here. For now, let's start with a single, consistent set of number pronunciations. These alternative readings are real, but that doesn't mean we need to memorize all of them today. So, for now, let's set them aside. We use 0, 4, 7, 9. These 4 forms cover the vast majority of numbers you'll encounter in everyday life. The readings we're not using today can be thought of as special use forms. You'll find them in things like dates, time expressions, addresses, or fixed names and other specific contexts. And interestingly, the more specialized a pronunciation is, the less you need to worry about it right now. Think about English for a moment. Would you ever say good instead of went? Alternative readings matter. You will learn them eventually, but they are usually not the biggest obstacle. For those alternative readings, the shadowing practice videos in this series will be more than enough. What really determines whether you can comfortably understand and say Japanese numbers is this set of 28 core forms. So how do you actually learn them? The first step is simple. In this video, just shadowing these 28 numbers with me. You don't need to practice for 1 or 2 hours a day. In fact, when you are closely imitating pronunciation, your brain gets tired surprisingly quickly. A few short sessions are usually much more effective than a single long session. If you'd like to build a habit, try shadowing these 29 numbers 3 times a day for about 5 minutes each time. After a couple of weeks, you may notice that some of your old pronunciation habits start to fade, and new patterns begin to feel more natural. Then, one day, almost without realizing it, you'll find you already know how to pronounce all 100 numbers from 0 to 99. There's a shorts playlist on this channel. Each short contains 10 randomly selected numbers between 0 and 99. You can use them as quick shadowing practice or as quick self-checks. Try saying the numbers first, then compare your pronunciation with the video. Check things like pitch accent, voicing, devoicing, and other small pronunciation details. There's also Seijo's J-SAV number shadowing cards available on Gumroad. With just 46 shadowing cards, they cover the core building blocks of Japanese pronunciation from 0 all the way to 1 trillion. Look at the number, recall the pronunciation. Then, check yourself with the J-SAV animation on the back. Or simply use the cards themselves for shadowing practice. It's a simple way to build accurate pronunciation through focused, repeated practice. So, with that, let's begin our shadowing practice. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 30 40 50 60 70 80 90 Memorize the pitch accent of the numbers above and be sure to remember one more important rule. For the three tones with the accent on ju, Once a ones digit is added, they all become flat. 50 59 60 69 80 89 Congratulations on completing this round of Japanese number shadowing practice. Next, we'll move on to larger numbers. And if you'd like to practice dates and time expression, you'll find those exercises here on the channel as well. This is Noriyuki. 日本語の勉強、皆さん一緒に頑張りましょう。